Hi everybody, welcome to the second Runderwear Pilates session. My name is Kate Cadbury. If you haven't done any Pilates before, our first session for Runderwear introduces you to the idea of what Pilates is all about, so if you want to check that out. But this session is going to be focusing on our glute muscles. So our glutes are so important in running, and as a physiotherapist, often the running injuries that we see that cause biomechanical problems can be due to weakness through the glute area. So getting these glute muscles strong will help improve your biomechanics, which will hopefully reduce your risk of injury, and also optimum biomechanics is going to help improve your power. Please just work as you feel comfortable. Please don't push into any pain or discomfort. If you want to add some resistance to these exercises, then you can use a material glutes band if you've got one of those, or if not, a TheraBand or a dressing gown rope, or equally you can do all the same exercises without any resistance at all. Okay, so we're going to warm up in standing to start with. We don't need the resistance first of all, so if you just pop that down to the side, you can use a mat if you've got one of those, and also you just need a small hand towel just for a little bit of head support. So first of all, we want to just stand with our feet hip distance apart, and if you can just gently rock forwards and backwards onto your toes and your heels, and just loosen off through those ankle joints. Excellent. And then when you're ready, if you can just settle in the centre of your feet. Make sure you've got equal pressure through both of your feet, and then we want to think about our weight bearing, distributing the weight between the base of the big toe, the little toe and the heel, and then just imagine you've got a little pin in the arch of your foot, and you're just going to gently lift those arches away from the pins just to get the foot muscles nice and active. Keeping your knees just softly bent for me, we're going to pop our hands on our hips, and you're going to tilt your pelvis forward, so stick your bottom out and tuck your bottom underneath you. Just do that a few times, just loosen off through that low back and pelvic area. And then when you're ready, if you can just rest halfway between those two positions. So that's that nice pelvic neutral position where you're feeling like you're tucking the tailbone slightly underneath you. As you do that, you should start to feel a little bit of activation through those bottom muscles and also through our lower tummy muscles as well. Okay, keeping the arms nice and relaxed, just slide those shoulder blades down your back towards your hips and feel nice and lengthened at the back of the neck. So we're going to start off with a bit of spinal mobility. We're going to take a big breath in. As you breathe out, just reach the right arm up to the ceiling and you're going to stretch over to the left. Take a big breath in there to feel the stretch and breathe out and release. You're going to swap sides, stretching over, taking a nice deep breath in and breathe out and release. Good, just one more in each direction, going a little bit further this time if you can. Big breath in when you're there. And breathe out and release. And then last one over to the right, nice deep breath in. And breathe out and release. Good, bringing the arms in front of you. You can just cross your arms and pop your elbows out to the side. Keep the shoulders nice and relaxed. You're going to rotate round to the left now. Take a big breath in here. And then breathe out and release. Just try and keep the hips pointing forwards, just rotating around to the right this time. Excellent. And again, changing, heading round to the left, going a little bit further here, taking a nice deep breath in. And breathe out and release. And then last one, heading round to the right, nice deep breath in. Excellent. And breathe out and release. Good. Just popping the arms down by your side. So just going to work on a bit of hip mobility now. So just standing on the left leg and just doing some nice big rotations with that right leg. Excellent. So getting the hip nice and mobile will allow you just to access those glutes that little bit more. Well done. And we're going to go for another 3, 2, and 1. Good. Swap sides. So just standing on the right leg and just rotating that left leg around. Excellent. Keep it going. And we're going to go for another 3, 2, and 1. Good. From there, we're going to take our bands if you're going to add some resistance. So if you can just step into your band if you're using a material band, you're going to pop it just a couple of inches above your knees. If you're using a TheraBand or a dressing gown rope, again, same area, just a couple of inches, and tie it in a good knot so you feel you've got that good resistance. Okay, so when we're ready, we're going to come and stand on our left leg. So when we stand on one leg, we want to think about keeping the foot nice and relaxed on the mat. Keep that good knee bend now through that left knee and try and keep that left knee in line with the foot. So when you're ready, we're going to tap out to the side with your right leg. Excellent. So just little taps. What I want you to think about is this good alignment through this left side. So when we add a little bit of resistance here, the band will want to draw the knee into the centre. And often what we see with runners, if you are a bit weak through the bottom area, is that knee will tend to drop in with your running, which will put quite a lot of pressure through the knee and down into the ankle and also through the hip area. So we want to really think about using those bottom muscles now to keep that good stability through that left leg. Excellent. Just tapping in and out. Again, you can do this without any resistance, just go with what you feel comfortable with. Excellent. Well done. So we're going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. We're going to swap sides. So just coming onto your right leg this time. Remember that good knee bend. Keep the foot relaxed on the mat and keep that right knee in line with the foot. And then when you're ready, tapping out to the side with the left leg. Excellent. So this single leg stability is so important with runners. If you think about your running, you're hopping from one leg to the other. So as you hop onto that leg, you want to think about that good stability through that weight bearing side. And that stability will come from those glutes. Excellent. Well done. So keeping that good alignment through that right side here. Excellent. Keep it going. And last 3, 2, and 1. Good. We're going to come back onto our left side now. So keeping that good knee bend. This time we're going to tap diagonally backwards with the right leg. So diagonally backwards. Excellent. So what we want to do is try and train these muscles in a nice weight bearing position. That's when we want to be using these bottom muscles, is when we're weight bearing, when we're running, when we're hopping from one leg to the other. Well done. Keep it going. And last 2. Excellent. And then we're going to swap sides, so onto that right leg, keep that good knee alignment, and then tapping diagonally backwards with the left leg. Well done. Excellent. Well done. So you may have picked up that perhaps you're a little bit weaker on one side. Again, that's an area that you could focus on leading up to the Runderwear Festival of Running. Well done. Last 3, 2, and 1. Good. Just give your legs a little walk out. So we're going to go into squats now. So legs a little bit wider with the feet turned out to the side slightly. We're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to go down into your squat, push out with the left leg, back to the centre, out with the right leg, back to the centre, and lift back up. So into your squat, push out with the left, out with the right, and then lift back up again. Excellent. So remember with your squats, the weight should go through the heels. So you're sticking those bottoms out. Try and push equally with each leg as you go out to the side. Excellent. Well done. Keep it going. Last 2 sets for me. Excellent. And on your last one, so this one, if you can stay down, just keep alternating sides. Well done. Pushing up those glutes. Keep it going for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then up you come from there. Excellent. Give those legs a little walk out. We're going to finish off in standing with an exercise called the monster walk. If you want to make this a little bit harder, you can pop the band around the ankles, so just a couple of inches above the ankles, or you can keep it where we had it, or equally you can do it without any resistance at all. So with your monster walk, you want to sit down into your squat position and you're going to walk forwards, doing a little circle as you walk forwards. Excellent. Coming forwards from there and then walking backwards, really pushing out into that band if you can. Excellent. Keep going. Well done. Feeling that resistance. Keeping that good knee alignment if you can. And it's like you're drawing a little circle with each step, okay? So you're using those glutes to get that push into the band. Keep it going. We're nearly there. Excellent. 2 more sets for me. Coming back from there. Well done. And last set. Sink low here, guys. Keep it going. And coming back from there. Excellent. And then just standing upright, just give those legs a little walk out. Good. So we're going to take our bands. If you're using a band, just pop it just above the knees again. And we're going to come and stand at the end of our mats and we're going to go into our roll down. So you're going to stand with your feet underneath your hips. You're going to take a big breath in. As you breathe out, come up onto your toes and reach the arms up and away. Take a big breath in there as you reach away. And then as you breathe out, lower the heels and the arms. You're going to tuck the chin down and slowly curl down. Just think about releasing one vertebra at a time as you slowly work your way down towards the mat Just go to where you feel comfortable and take a big breath in there. And then as you breathe out, tuck the tailbone underneath you. Slowly put the weight back through the spine, just one vertebra at a time. And then lastly, just coming up with your head and neck. Okay, we're going to go again. So up onto your toes, reach those arms up and away and take a big breath in. And then as you breathe out, lower the heels and the arms, tuck the chin down, slowly curling down, all the way down to as far as you feel able to. This time at the bottom, we're going to take a big breath in. And then as we breathe out, we're going to bend our knees and lower ourselves down onto our mats. And we're going to come and lie down on our backs. Okay, so if you can come and lie down on your backs for me, you're going to keep the band where it is if you're using that resistance. And we're going to start off with our bridge. So we're going to walk our heels up towards our bottom. When your heels are closer to your bottom, you're going to be working those bottom muscles that little bit more. So keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed, and if you can just tuck the chin down slightly towards your chest, you're going to take a big breath in, and then as you breathe out, curl the pelvis back. So push the small of your back into the mat, squeeze through those bottom muscles and slowly peel the spine up off the mat, just one level at a time, coming up onto your shoulders. At the top, we're going to push out with the right leg into the band, back to the centre, with the left leg into the band, back to the centre. Doing 3 on each side. Excellent. And then when you've done those 3, just slowly lowering down, just placing one vertebrae down at a time. And then lastly, just untucking through the pelvis. So when you're ready, going to go again. So curling that pelvis back, good squeeze into those bottom muscles, peel the spine up, coming up onto your shoulders. At the top, push out with the right leg, the left leg. Do 3 on each side. Excellent. Well done. When you've done those 3, slowly lowering back down again, just placing one vertebrae down at a time. If you want to make this a little bit harder, you can cross your arms across your chest. Okay, and then curling up from there. Pushing equally as you push out into the band. Try and resist that force of the band, trying to draw that static leg back to the centre. So we're using those glutes to keep that good alignment. Excellent. Well done. So we've finished the one that you're on. If you can just do one more for me. Excellent. Lifting up into your bridge. Push out with the right, out with the left. Doing 3 on each side. Well done. And then when you've done those 3, just slowly releasing and lowering back down from there and untucking through the pelvis. Excellent. Just pop your arms back down by your sides. Just walk your feet away from your bottom a little bit. Just make sure your feet are in line with your knees, your hips and your shoulders. You're going to get your pelvis nice and neutral here now. So just rock the pelvis backwards and forwards, and then just rest halfway between those 2 positions. So remember, you should just be able to get your hand in between that little gap in between the low back and the mat. Relax your ribs into your tummy and nice and relaxed through the shoulders, and that little chin tucked down towards your chest. So we're going to go into hip twist from here. You can either keep both feet resting down on the mat and you're going to open and close from there, or if you feel happy, we're going to work our way into our double tabletop position. So we're going to bring our right leg into our single tabletop, and then tense the tummy muscles that little bit more, lower the ribs down into the tummy and slowly bring your left leg up to come into your double tabletop position. So we're going to take a breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to take the right leg out to the side and then breathe in, bring it back in again, and then you're going to swap sides. Okay, so breathing out to go out, breathing in to come back in again. Pushing out into that resistance if you're using a band, and trying to resist the band, drawing the static leg back to the centre, across the centre. Well done. So remember, you can do this with both feet resting down on the mat if you want to, working at that level, or in your tabletop position. And if you want to make this a little bit harder, just hover the arms up off the mat slightly, okay? So really thinking about keeping that static leg nice and still and steady, thinking about keeping the back of the pelvis glued to the mat, and think about using the muscles at the sides of the tummy just to control this movement. Excellent. Well done. Just 2 more on each side for me now. Good. And then when you've done those 2, if you can lower one leg down at a time and rest back onto the mat from there. Excellent. So we're going to finish off in this position with an exercise called hundreds. So again, you can keep your feet rested down on the mat and push out into your band from there. Or if you feel happy, bring the right leg into your single tabletop, lower the ribs down into the tummy, tense those tummy muscles that little bit more as you slowly bring the left leg up. So from here, we're going to push out with both legs into the band. So you should feel those muscles at the sides, the tummy work that little bit more, and also through the glutes. We're going to lift both arms up off the mat just a little way, and we're going to pulse those arms up and down. So I want you to imagine you've got little puddles underneath your hands, and you're just creating little ripples in that water with the hands. Excellent. So like I say, you can do this with both feet resting down on the mat and pushing out from there, or in your tabletop position. And then if you don't get any neck and shoulder discomfort, if you feel happy, you can lift the back of your head and shoulders up off the mat, but keep that good gap in between your chin and your chest, okay? So keeping that good neck alignment. Excellent. Keep pushing out into the band, and then if you want to finish off making this a little bit harder, you can straighten both legs away from you there. Excellent. Well done. Keep it going, pushing out into your band. We're going to hold it here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the head if it's lifted, and then bring those knees up to your chest and just gently rock them from side to side. Excellent. So when you're ready, if you can pop one foot down at a time onto the mat, and we're going to come onto our side. So if you can roll over for me, and in our side lying position, we want to make sure we've got good head support. So if you can tuck your towel in between your head and your arm, this underneath arm can go out straight, or it can be tucked up behind your head, whichever's more comfortable. So we're going to have our knees bent up, our heels in line with our bottom, and then the rest of us in a nice straight line. So imagine yourself lining yourself up with the back of the mat. We want to get our pelvis and spine nice and neutral, so if you can take your top hip and you're going to tilt that top hip down towards your heels to create a little gap in between the waist and the mat. Relax your ribs and keep this top shoulder nice and relaxed as well. So we're going to start off with a bent leg lift. We're going to take a breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to lift the top leg up and then breathe in and lower. So breathe out to lift and breathe in to lower. So you can do this with your resistance. You can drop the resistance if you want to, just work as you feel comfortable. Excellent, well done. So I want you to think about, as you lift, you're keeping this top waist nice and lengthened. You're starting to feel those glutes kick in a little bit. Often what we see with runners is they can be quite dominant through the front or the side of the hip. So if you're feeling that and you're feeling it less in the glutes, if you can just tilt your top hip forward slightly, you should feel a little bit more in the glutes. And also as you're lifting that leg up, just take the leg backwards slightly, just to get those glutes firing up that little bit more. Excellent. Last 3, 2, and 1. Good. From there, we're going to add in some leg extension if you want to, or you can stick with your lift and lower. So when you're ready, you're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to lift up into our bent leg lift, stretch the leg away, pushing up into the band, and then bend the leg and lower back down. So lifting up, stretch away, push up into the band as you stretch away, bend the leg and lower back down. Excellent. Keep going for me. Again, you can take that leg backwards slightly as you stretch that leg away to get those glutes firing up a little bit more. And if you want a little bit of feedback, just pop your hand as if it's resting in your back pocket. That's where you should be feeling it. So through those glutes there. Excellent. Last 3. And 2. And last 1. And then release and lower. Just give that muscle a little tap or a little rub. Excellent. Well done, guys. So from there, we're going to go into top leg circles. We're going to start with the heels back a little bit further than the level of the bottom. The rest of you is in a nice straight line. And we're going to lift the top leg to hip height. Keeping the pelvis nice and steady, we're going to rotate that top leg around. So if we're drawing a little circle with the knee, so imagine you've got a pencil on the front of your knee and you're drawing a nice smooth circle, pushing up into the band, feeling those glutes now. We're going to stick in this direction for 3, 2, and 1, and then change direction for me. Excellent. Keep it going. Well done. And last 3, 2, and 1, and release and lower, just rubbing through the muscle or giving it a little tap for me. Excellent. When you're ready, we're going to pop onto our other side. So if you can roll over for me, and we're going to get ourselves nice and neutral first of all. Make sure your head's nicely supported by tucking that towel in between your head and your arm. Underneath arm can be out straight or tucked up behind your head, whichever's more comfortable. So knees bent up, heels in line with your bottom, the rest of you in a nice straight line. We're going to tilt the top hip down towards our heels to create that little gap in between the waist and the mat. and keep your ribs and your top shoulder nice and relaxed. So we started off with a bent leg lift. We're going to take a breath in. As we breathe out, lift that top leg up and then breathe in and lower. Excellent. So you might find it's a little bit harder on one side than the other, perhaps just showing you any bottom muscle weakness. So just addressing that, trying to get both sides balanced out is really important for your running. So an area that you could be working on as we lead up to the Runderwear Festival of Running. Excellent. So remember, if you tend to be a bit more dominant through the front or the side of the hip, then you can take that top hip forward slightly and then lift up from there. And as you're lifting the leg up, take it backwards slightly so you get those glutes firing up. Use your hands for a little bit of feedback, so popping that hand in the back pocket, feeling those bottom muscles squeezing underneath the hand as you're lifting and lowering. Last 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, you can stick with that level, or if you feel happy, we're going to add a little bit of leg extension into that movement. So when you're ready, you're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, lift the top leg up and stretch the leg away. Push up into the band, bend the leg and lower back down. So lifting, lengthening the leg away, bend the leg and lower back down. Excellent. Keep it going. Well done. Starting to feel it now in those glutes, and remember, as you take that leg backwards, as you take that leg away from you, you can take that leg backwards slightly to get those glutes firing up that little bit more. Excellent. Nearly there. Let's go for another 3. Pushing up into that band. And 2. And last one. Good. And releasing down from there. Give that muscle a good tap or a little rub. Excellent. So we're going to go into our top leg circle. So take the heels back a little bit further than the level of your bottom now, but the rest of you stays in that nice straight line. We're going to keep that little gap in between the waist and the mat. So keeping the pelvis nice and steady, lift the leg to hip height and start drawing your circles with your knee. So imagine you've got a pencil on the front of that knee, you're drawing nice smooth circles, pushing up into the band if you can. Excellent. Feeling those bottom muscles, stick with this direction for 3, 2, and 1, and then change direction for me, you're rotating round. Excellent. Keep it going. Last 3, 2, and 1, and then releasing down from there, giving those muscles a good rub or a little tap for me. Excellent. Okay, we're going to come into 4-point kneeling now. So if you can come up onto your hands and your knees, and you're going to have your knees underneath your hips. Your hands are going to be shoulder distance apart, but just a little bit further forwards than the level of your shoulders. So we want to get our pelvis nice and neutral in this position now. So if you can stick your bottom out, tuck your bottom underneath you, and then just rest halfway between those 2 positions. We're going to slide the shoulder blades down our back towards our hips and keep the back of the neck nice and long, so we stay looking down at our fingertips. So from here, we're going to weight bear through the right leg, and you're going to take the left leg out to the side and back in again. So breathing out to go out, breathing in to come back in again. Excellent. So if you're using resistance, you can push out into that resistance with that left leg. Well done. If you want to make this a little bit harder, you can straighten the right arm out in front of you. So switching on through the core a little bit more now. Well done. So here we're working the glutes on the leg that's moving on that left side, but we're also working the glutes on that right side as we're stabilising through that right leg as we were in standing. Excellent. Keep it going. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Releasing from there, we're going to weight bear through the left leg this time. Just pop the hands down in front of you first of all, and take the right leg out to the side and back in again. Excellent. Well done. So foot and knee stays in line with each other. It's a lateral movement out to the side. Keep the shoulder sliding down. Keep the back of the neck long so we stay looking down at our fingertips. Excellent. So we're working the glutes on the right leg as we're taking the leg out to the side, but you should also be feeling it through that left leg now, we're stabilising through that left side. If you want to, you can lift the left arm out in front of you just to challenge that core that little bit more. Keeping that pelvis nice and steady. Excellent. Keep it going. And we're going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Releasing and lowering down from there. From there, we're just going to finish off with a little plank session, so if you can come down onto your fronts, and we're going to have our feet in line with our knees, our hips and our shoulders, our heads going down through the centre. If you can just tuck your tailbone slightly underneath you, keep the shoulders sliding down the back of the neck nice and long. So picking your level of plank, you can either come into level 1, lifting the front of the thighs and pelvis up off the mat, or if you feel happy, if you can come into your full plank position, so lifting up onto your toes for me. Excellent. So just staying in this position, just thinking about your alignment first of all, so keep the bottom in line with the spine, keep the back of the neck nice and long, so we say looking down at our hands in front of us. Excellent. Really think about drawing in through those tummy muscles. Remember, you should never feel this through the spine. If you do, you just need to lower down, just give yourself a little break just to reset. If you can feel it through the spine, it usually means those tummy muscles are switched off, so you just need to give yourself a little break. Excellent. So from here, let's step out to the side with the left leg, back to the centre, out with the right leg, back to the centre. Keep it going, working through those glutes as we're getting those abs switched on that little bit more. Sticking with this for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, keeping the feet still, and from here, lift the right leg up to the ceiling, lower back down, and swap sides. Excellent. Nearly there, guys. Keep it going. And last 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release, and lower down from there. Excellent. So we're going to give those glutes a little stretch out now. So if you can take the resistance off, if you are using a resistance band, and we're going to come into an exercise called the pigeon stretch to start with. I'll give you an alternative though if you don't want to do this one. So we're going to take the right leg across the mat, trying to get that knee to about 90 degrees, but it may be that you just need to go for a slightly lower angle to start with. And you're going to have your left leg out straight behind you, and you're just going to sit down through the pelvis, just feeling that good stretch through your right hand side coming into that position. So a really nice glute stretch. If you're not comfortable with this, if you do have any hip or knee problems though, you can swap this for the figure of 4 stretch, where you're coming onto your back and popping the right foot onto the left knee and just pushing the right knee away, or you can hold between your legs and hold around the back of the left leg. Excellent. So just relaxing into that position, just feeling that good stretch through the glutes. If you're doing the pigeon stretch, just try and inch that foot up towards the top of the mat, just that little bit more if you can, feeling that good stretch through those glutes. Excellent. Well done. So we're going to hold here for one more big in-breath, and then breathing out, we're going to release and swap sides. So if you can come onto your left leg for your pigeon, so just taking that leg across the mat, have your right leg out straight, and then sit down through your pelvis. Excellent. Otherwise, into your figure of 4, so pop the left foot onto the right knee, and you can just push that left knee away, or you can hold between your legs and hold around the back of that right leg and draw that knee up towards you. Excellent. So as much as it's good to strengthen our glutes, it's also really important to keep them well stretched out. So thinking about these stretches, if you do feel that it is tight, particularly if you've got one side that's tighter than the other, it's worth addressing that just to get that nicely balanced out. Excellent. Well done. If you're in the pigeon stretch, just inch that foot up towards the mat just that little bit more. Well done. And we're going to hold here for one more big breath in, and then breathing out, just releasing from there. Good, so if you can all come onto your back for me now, and just make sure your head's supported on your towel. You're going to bring the right knee up towards your chest and stretch the left leg down the mat away from you, and then just gently take the right knee across the body, just to feel that good stretch in through the glutes. If you do get any pinching in through the hip here, just take the knee just a little bit lower down. If you have had any history of hip problems, you might find that you're just more comfortable staying straight in front of you. Excellent. Otherwise, just feel that good stretch as you're taking that knee across. Well done. And one more big breath in, and breathe out and release. And then swap sides, bringing that left knee up towards your chest. You can stay straight, or take the leg across the body with that right leg out straight for me. Feel that good stretch into the glutes. Excellent. Well done. One more big breath in. And then breathing out and releasing from there. Good. From there, if you can stretch both legs away from you and stretch your arms up above your head and feel a good stretch all the way from your fingertips to your toes, and just take a big breath in as you reach away in opposite directions. And then as you breathe out, just slowly bring your arms down by your sides, and then we're going to take our time just to come up into standing. So just coming into standing, and if you can just come and stand with your feet just underneath your hips, just doing some nice big shoulder rolls. Excellent. And then when you're ready, just settle those shoulders in the centre. We're going to take a big breath in as you breathe out. Tuck your chin down to your chest and slowly curl down, just releasing one vertebra at a time. Just go to as far as you feel able to. When you get to that point, take a big breath in. And then as you breathe out, slowly tuck the tailbone underneath you. Just slowly put the weight back through the spine. And then the last thing to come up is your head and neck. Awesome, well done guys. So hopefully you enjoyed that for those glutes. So an area that you could work on if you have picked up that you are a little bit weaker, but definitely strong glutes is going to help improve your biomechanics, reduce your risk of injury, and get those times going for the Runderwear Festival of Running. Thanks guys. If you have got any comments, please feel free just to pop them in the comments box below, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you've got. But I look forward to seeing you next time, and good luck with the rest of your training. Take care.